Good evening, everyone. This is Financial Literacy 101. And I was just thinking about words of power in times like this, which, let's be realistic. Black people, we're used to times like this. Not the whole social distancing or being inside, being a bear and hibernating, but we're used to troubled time. We're used to not having enough money to get the things we need. But somehow, some way, our parents, our ancestors, and we have made a way. Now, granted, including everyone else, everybody essentially, if you haven't been born into money, you probably have seen tough times as well, not just Black people, right? Because the trouble you may see may have been worse or may not have been worse than your brother or your sister, regardless of what ethnic or race you are. Needless to say, people of really diverse backgrounds, no matter where you're from, what country you was born in, most likely you've seen tough times. So the question you're asking yourself right now is, how do I get through this hour? How do I get through this day? How do I get through this year? Because you have all of these wants, you have all of these needs, but you don't have the resources, you don't have the funds to get through it. So I'm gonna duck out the way really quickly so you guys can actually read what I have going on right here. So I want you to read what Shirley Chisholm had to say. So I'm just gonna scoot all the way down here. Okay. It looks like I'm having somewhat of technical difficulties, but I'm gonna work through that really quickly. Let's see here. All right. But anyway, I want to know your thoughts about what can we do to pull ourselves out of this recession? What can we do to make our living, to make our current standing a lot better than what it is right now? Because quite frankly, we can make a lot of excuses, right? But at the end of the day, who are you blaming? Who are you blaming? Are you blaming COVID-19? Are you blaming the government? Are you blaming your significant other? Are you blaming yourself? Are you blaming your kids? Are you blaming your friends and family? Who are you blaming? See, at the end of the day, being argumentative, going back and forth, who's right, who's wrong, the government should do this politician should do this, I should have done that. Now that you've got all that out the way, now it's time for action. Okay, now it's time for action. Because Shirley Chisholm said, you make progress when you implement ideas. Think about that. Because basically she's saying is when you put your ideas into action. A buddy of mine sent me this quote. I want to read it to you very quickly here. You've heard this quote before, and it's very powerful. And I spoke about it. I used to remember it, but let's think about it like this, because a lot of you have been through this. A lot of you have had dreams, okay? A lot of you have had dreams. It says here, a dream written down with a date becomes a goal, okay? A dream written down with a date becomes a goal. Because some of you had dreams of being an inventor, being an engineer, being an entrepreneur, being a business person, being an investor, being a doctor, a lawyer, a nurse, being innovative in system, being your own boss. You had dreams of that. You don't want to work for nobody. And you had dreams of being a fire person. You have dreams of being a police person. You have dreams of being part of law enforcement, whatever it may be. Because here's the thing, and I'm going a lot of places with this because this is words of power, because we need to get outside of our own self. We are walking in a shell of our own self because we're not thinking about the hard things that we actually need to think about. Some of you had dreams of being police officers, law enforcement. A lot of us who are African American or African descent, we tend not to like the police because we keep seeing unarmed Black men and Black women being taken advantage of, killed, brutalized, tortured, mistreated, etc. And we use that as an excuse sometimes. We use that as a reason sometimes of not doing our very best. You make progress when you implement ideas. So my question to you is, if you've never been beaten, if you've never been mistreated, if you've never been racially profiled, stereotype, racism towards you, then what's your excuse? Now, granted, I think we all been racially profiled. I think we all been shown some sort of prejudice in some sense, and you might not even known you were. But what was your dream? What did stop you from following your dream? A dream written down with a date becomes a goal. A goal broken down into steps becomes a plan. Because here's the thing. So you have a dream, you have a thought, you have these ideas, but then you tell people, oh yeah, man, I'm gonna do this. Oh yeah, girl, I'm gonna do this. That is a dream. Because now you need to write down how to make your dream a goal, because now the goal, that dream is being manifested into a goal. Because now that's something that you want to reach. A goal is something that you want to reach. Dream is something that you thought of in your mind. But if you don't write it down, if you don't make steps and plans towards it, it's really nothing. It's just a dream. A dream, a goal is broken down into steps that becomes a plan. What is your plan? What are the steps that you're taking to finish, to start your plan? Because that's your goal, right? Okay, let's move along. A plan backed by action, a plan backed by action becomes reality. So if you have a plan, you got it written down, you got step by step, this is my plan, this is what I'm gonna do. But if you're sitting on it, if you're doing nothing, then how is your dream becomes reality, right? Because there are steps, there are milestones, there are points to reach reality. Dream, goal, plan, action, reality. What are you doing to fulfill your dream? What are you doing to put it into reality? Because I can tell you right now, it's easy sitting at home, complaining, fussing, fighting, wondering what the politicians and the government is going to do, wonder if your uncle, your aunt, your mother, your brother, your sister is going to loan you money. But you have some ideas. You had goals. You made a plan. Now it's time to put it into action to make it your reality. Yes. Is it harder? Yes. Because right now, millions of Americans are stressed out because of this pandemic, because we're out of work. What are some of the things that you can be doing to work on oneself? What are some of the things you can be doing to work on yourself? What are some of those things? I look at a lot of old videos, okay, of old great African Americans who have done interviews, who have created things, because that gives me inspiration. Because when I look at them, America was even more racist than it is now. But somehow, some way, they became successful in a racist America. Now, some of you may say, well, they sold out, they were Sambos, they were Oreos, or they were puppets of the puppeteer, the white of their white counterparts. I just don't know, but I know that some of them followed their dreams, made goals, set out on a plan, went into action, and became reality. The question is, what are you doing? What are you doing? Now, a lot of these things that I'm speaking about, they're not instantaneous. They take time, right? Sometimes you can have the perfect plan, but it can go into action at the wrong time. See, what I've noticed about a lot of rich people, they have a plan for the plan backed by a plan. You get what I'm trying to say? So they have their main plan. Okay, if this doesn't work, then I'll do this. If this don't work, then this has to work. Okay. And that's what we need to adopt. That is what we need to let those things permeate through our mind. You can't go into war. You can't go into battle with one plan. One of these generals, I forgot what the general name was, but basically he said, you make a plan, but you need to understand when the first round is shot, the plan goes to hell. That means there's no longer a plan, but you have to go in with the plan. Because even if we do 10%, even if we do 15% of the plan, we can still win the war. We can still win the battle. We can still be successful. The problem is you're thinking that you can go to work every single day and be successful. You think that you can go to work and work for somebody and be successful every single day. What is your side hustle? What are you doing to bring in extra revenue into your wallet? Because at the end of the day, and I just want to be forthright, I just want to be forthcoming. Some of us don't want to work. And that's perfectly fine. Because if you want to do the FIRE, like, retire early, financially retire early, the FIRE movement, if you want to do that, guess what those people did to retire in their 30s and 40s? They worked their butt off and they super saved. Okay. They super save. Super saving is you up there combining coupons. You're not going out, but they did all of that so they wouldn't have to work. They're going out doing the things they want to do with their life. They're like, woke up this morning. I just want to go to the park and walk my dog. And that's their right, because they worked their butt off to do that. What are you doing other than complaining? What are you doing other than making excuses about you want to retire or you don't want to work? Now, it's easy to try to manipulate the government. What I learned about the government, because I used to work for the government, I know that eventually, if you're doing something devious, if you're doing something fraudulent, they may not catch you now, but eventually they're going to get their money. What am I saying? I am saying you have what it takes to be successful. I am saying that even right now, you may think you don't have enough education. You may think you might not have the right certifications, but I guarantee you there's things, there's jobs, there's avenues that you can attack and approach and be successful. I think about a lot of things that someone who doesn't have the money for education or class or certification that can do. Now, this may not fit your mold. This may not fit you, but I think about there's a lot of people who make money off of cooking, bakery, people making muffins and donuts. I mean, because guess what? Even during COVID-19, people still got to eat. People who make t-shirts. I mean, I try to make t-shirts. I know none of you guys want to buy them. I need to be good. I need to become a lot better, I guess, at it, because I'm not that good at it. But nonetheless, there's ways to make money other than begging the government for money. There's ways to make money. Now, a lot of things I'm about to say is undesirable, but I remember growing up in Washington, D.C., I used to see old Black guys walk around with shopping carts picking up cans and bottles. They will pick up cans and bottles all day because we know most cities are trashy. Okay, unless it's downtown, they got them people picking up stuff. But a lot of times, inner cities are trashy. So you just go around inner city and pick up stuff, but nobody wants to do those jobs, right? You want to wear a suit. You want to have a nice car. You want to drive to your office building with air conditioning, and you want to chill on your computer. But sometimes that's not feasible. Sometimes that's just not the way things are. Sometimes you have to do things that nobody else wants to do. That's what you have to do. And who cares? See, I understand that we are prideful. People in general are prideful. But those people who are odd, those people who are strange, those are the ones who end up being number one. Those are the ones who end up being successful. Those are the ones who don't have to worry about money in their 50s, 60s, and 70s. because of their oddness, because they are peculiar, because they are different, because they are the white bird amidst all the yellow birds, because they are the black birds amidst all the white birds, because they are different and they love being different. Nolan Baptiste, what's going on, man? Andrea, hello from VA. Oh, I'm from DC. That's what's up. And hello from NYC. Okay, I'm a Giants fan, so I cover all you guys that's in the chat. Whoever said something. And then love from the UK. What's going on, A1 Star? Well, thank you. We got some brothers in the UK. Thank you. Thank you for joining this live cast. Because regardless of where you are, COVID-19 is affecting everyone in some way. Whether a family member has passed away, or you was infected, or a family member was infected. But right now, right here, is your opportunity to be stronger than you ever had before. And that means, right? That means emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, physically, and economically strong. Strong. Because I was reading, I think it was HLN this morning. They were talking about how 75% of Americans, or something, some weird number, and 65% of the world, right? That includes Europe, Australia, you name it, all the countries, all the continents, were depressed, were mentally stressed. You know why? You know why? Because we're worrying about things that we can't ultimately change. I can't change the numbers of people contracting COVID-19, but I can change what I do. Well, we need to understand your mental state, your mental capacity. You have the power of you being happy or sad. I know that's tough for you. I know that's really strong words, but you have the willpower. You have the spirit. You have the soul to change your environment. You have the capacity to rearrange your thoughts, to rearrange your mind for positivity. Do I get down? Hell yeah, I get down. But I can guarantee you this, I'm more up than I ever would down. Right? We're human. So every now and again, you beat yourself up, or people beat you up, and you let that get to you. But the resiliency of you bouncing back is where the power that you possess. And if you never do that, then you're going to be a statistic. You're going to be one of the 75%. You're going to be one of the 65% that you're mentally stressed and you're about to kill yourself. There's nothing you can do with COVID-19. There's nothing you can do. Your friend, your family member contracted COVID-19 and passed away. But you can do something for you. You can sit around and wait for the government to bail you out. You can sit around and wait for it. Or you can come up with very intricate ways to make money. I see it all over the internet. People are coming up with ways to make money. Oh, the world need masks. Some lady made masks with a zipper on it. Oh, because some of you going to think that's cool. I'm going to unzip it, I'm going to slurp, and I'm going to zipping it back. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that, but she made a hustle. She made a hustle. Another good friend of mine, his YouTube channel was struggling. He came up and caught a wave, and now he has 40,000 subscribers. That's going to land him a lot of money, and I'm happy for it. But people are coming up with different ways to survive COVID-19, to survive and be profitable even during this whole coronavirus pandemic. The question is, what are you doing? Dolly Smith, I know about the quirky life, indeed. My neighbor told me he makes $3K a year picking up bottles as a side hustle. He's a homeowner. His children are doing well. Thank you. Thank you for that. That's his confirmation. Dolly Smith, big facts. Wadner, I taught Asian kids English online from my bedroom during this shutdown. I hated getting up early to do it, but it's worth it. I made over $2K a month from it. If you build it, they will come. If you build it, they will come. What does that mean? That means that Brother Wadner went out and say, How can I make money online? How can I make money online? And he figured out a way to be an English teacher. Now, I would love to be an English teacher, but I'm not that good in English. I can barely speak the words I'm speaking. Some people are like, no, you're a great communicator. I'm like, you was drinking when I was drinking. Okay, well, I'm just down to earth like that, guys. But Wagner, for those who may want to teach other people around the country English, give them the website, how you reached out and applied for that position, so people can also use that resource and make some money during this dire time. Because granted, when I was over in Korea, there was people from South Africa, Black people from South Africa, because we know that South Africa has a large white population. But Black people from South Africa, white people from Australia, all over the world teaching Koreans English. Okay, teaching Koreans English. That's when I was in the military. They were teaching Koreans English and they was making a good sum of money. So I'm telling you, I'm asking you, Brother Wagner, if you can put that link up in the description right here, up in the chat room, so people can go and apply for it. But there's just so many ways to make money, but I don't want you guys to make excuses, because we know what type of people you are. You're resourceful, you're strong, you're powerful, you're intelligent. And this is what I hate. I was watching Brother Khalid Muhammad. He was a Muslim minister. I believe he was a student of Louis Farrakhan. Very intelligent brother, very, very, very intelligent brother. Unfortunately, he died at the age of 53 because he had a brain aneurysm. But at the same time, I also found out that he was excommunicated from the Nation of Islam for outspeaking. I guess his words were misunderstood by Louis Farrakhan. I'm not going to get into that. But the point I have to make about him is he was a very intelligent, very powerful brother that spoke a lot of controversial things, but nonetheless, he was for you taking care of you. You understand what I'm talking about? You can either create a job or work a job. You can either be an owner of businesses or manage businesses. Which one do you want? See, I like the gig network. I like the gig factor. I like the gig economy, because the gig economy teaches us that we can have a computer and make tons of money. You can have a computer and make tons of money. Let me tell you about my t-shirts real quick. I'm not trying to sell you guys, but there's a link in the description if you do want to buy a t-shirt. You can go on Teespring and make your own t-shirt. You get what I'm trying to say? Remember old school where you had to get like the canvas board and some colors and maybe some printing machines, and you made your own t-shirts. You went out and bought t-shirts from like Walmart or something like that, and you pressed your own t-shirts. Because I tried, I was horrible at it. But now there's organizations that can be the middleman for you, and you can still be profitable. And this is not a sponsored thing I'm saying. I'm trying to give you an idea. But if you have great ideas about inspirational t-shirts or funny t-shirts, or just you have a business or a company or something that you're coming out with, you can go on a website like Teespring, make t-shirts, market them on a website, on their website, on somebody else's website, on your Facebook, on your Instagram. There's so many ways to market for free. And you can make money off an idea, because you make progress when you implement your ideas, when you turn your dream into a goal, your goal into a plan, your plan into action, your action becomes reality. If you do none of that, you will never be successful. And you'll be waiting here, just like European countries. No offense to my UK brother. Just like UK, countries in UK, where socialism is the way they get down, where they get taxed over 40%. Now, there is some things about being a socialist I do like. I like universal health care. I like universal dental. I do. But I don't like to be taxed 40, 50%, because then you will have to make astronomical amount of money to live really well. So that's just my ideas when it comes to things of that nature. I wonder what tell me in the chat, what are your ideas? Someone I want to see 3 ideas of how to make money. Because these are words of power and we got to be powerful, but also, and don't think nobody's going to take your idea, because I'm going to tell you what most people do. They're tuned into this live broadcast and guess what they'll do? Oh, that was really good today. That was really informational. And when they get off, they get off. Do you get what I'm trying to say? When they get off this live session, they get off. They don't go and do nothing. They don't go and research. They don't go and read books. They don't do none of those things. Now, I'm going to show you some books right here that my lady picked out because she's always reading. Nope. I'm just kidding. That's not one of them. What about this book? Can you see that one? Let me see. This virtual background is killing me. Okay. What else? Let's see. Is that Habitual Habits over here? Atomic Habits. I heard this was a good book. I haven't read this one yet. Atomic Habits. But you guys ain't gonna do that. It's from the library, so they're free, no excuse. Go get your library card, return the books on time, or they're gonna charge a credit card, something like that, or bill you. When you see powerful people speaking, when you see intelligent people speaking, when you see people who are smarter than you speaking, and you ask yourself, how do they get that smart? How are they informed like that? I've been trying to tell you for 4 years now, Financial Literacy 101, AKA My Money Makes Money, AKA Ross World. The answer are in books that people already answer your questions. Because here's the thing about intelligent people. They read other people's books. They read other people's ideas, quotes, statement, phrases, and then they combobulated them all, combined them all, conformed them all, transformed them all, and came out with their own intelligence from that. People learn from people. So I'm telling you to go out, learn ideas, thoughts, innovation ideas, inventions, engineers, and come up with your own. Let's see what you guys wrote here. Sewing clothes. That's a good hustle because I don't know how to sew. But I can tell you one thing. I had another quote I was going to put up here, and I forgot. Man, I forgot what I was going to say. But it was basically not giving up. That's basically what the quote was about, not giving up. See, Andrea 1 says, I'm partnering with another company for a federal contract in DC, expecting a few million for the contract. That's what I'm talking about. A few million. See, when you say a few million, and I know a little bit about business, hopefully your few million is profit and not your operating costs. Okay. You have to subtract products, services, operating costs, your incidentals, your collateral, and then your profit. Okay. So is your profit millions or is just the contract within itself? Because the federal government give contractors a contract for millions of dollars. But when I hear $1 million contract, I necessarily don't know or think that you're going to receive $1 million because there is a lot of operating costs. And believe me, the federal government always go to the lowest bidder. Okay. Abina S says, congratulations, Andrea. And I'm happy for you. So I know there's some money in that. And hopefully you get everything you worked your butt off for. Words of power. What do words of power mean? Why did I name this particular live cast that? Because I don't like the candy coat things. I want to come straight to your heart. I want to come straight to your mind. Because, and I'm gonna get a little black here real quick, guys. So if I have some of my non-African-American, non-Afrocentric, non-Pan-Africanism people in the room, please don't feel offended. Please don't feel left out. But we know how the African-American have been stricken, have been left out, have been disenfranchised, have been discriminated upon throughout the entire world. So I'm just tired. See, I'm going to speak about one side. I'm going to speak about the other side. The first side I'm going to speak about is we already know what has happened to us. We already know what is happening to us. And we know that no time soon is going to get better. we know it's not going to get better. So I'm not going to speak about that because you're like, oh, well, you know, the things that we're going through, the prejudice, police are doing this and corporations are not hiring us. We already know all that. We already know all that. So let me go to the other side of things. What are we doing to make ourselves better? Again, I was looking at this old video. I hate to keep giving you these old videos. And this was on Phil Donahue's show when Dr. Khalid Hammett was speaking. And a young lady spoke up about another brother who was like, he wished all white people was off the face of the earth. And it's just like, you know, I think he spoke out of context. That's something that he really shouldn't say. And I agree with her. Then another sister stood up and was like, oh, this sister over here was talking about her nails and hair. Black people, don't distract ourselves. Don't beat down yourself. If you don't agree with another African-American, don't personally attack that person. I need for you to bring information. I need for you to bring philosophy. I need for you to bring historical facts or bring your own rhetoric. But when we personally attack our brothers and sisters on an open forum for everybody else to see, and you demean, you lower yourself, you degrade yourself, and you speak about someone's hair and nails or someone's skin color or someone's body composition, what are we doing? What are we doing? See, remember the old saying, if you don't have nothing positive to say, don't say nothing at all. See, the enemy has taught us to hate ourselves. The enemy has taught us to hate brothers and sisters. We will trust somebody else that is non-Black before we would trust our own. You know why? It's because while growing up, your uncle, your aunt, your mother, your father, your sister, your brother did something to you, and you're still hurt behind it. Because we wasn't taught self-love, we was taught self-hate. I remember growing up as a dark-skinned kid, I'm still dark-skinned, by the way, in Washington, D.C. in high school. And I remember all the girls like light-skinned guys. They didn't like dark-skinned guys. Why is that? Because we all understood that the closer to white is right. Why do you like light-skinned guys better than dark-skinned guys? And we're the closest to a real African born in Africa than a light-skinned guy. He's closer to what? And even though he still considered himself as Black, he still considered himself, like growing up, this whole notion, this whole new millennial thing about being mixed because you have lighter skin. I don't know where that came from. I'm not the one to argue what you call yourself or what you generalize yourself as. But I remember growing up, you know, someone light as my shirt had a Black father or Black mother considering themselves Black. They never consider themselves, oh, I'm mixed. That's just my rhetoric with that. But where's the self-respect of our race? Where's the dignity? It has to do with respect and dignity. I don't care about how a person looks essentially, but I do care about what you say out your mouth. Now, granted, I will catch you on the side. Now, I'm not going to name one of my brother's name, but a close friend of mine, we was at this workshop, we was at this function, and he was dressing really well. He was dressing really well. And then when I saw him, for 2 days straight, I saw that he had Jordans on. I was like, hey, bro, can I talk to you real quick? Didn't even know him. Didn't even know him. I said, brother, can I speak to you real quick? Like, yeah, man, what's going on? I said, man, you're looking good. You're dressing good. You smell good. Why are you wearing Jordans? This is a professional setting. This is a business setting. Oh, man, you know, X, Y, and Z. Like, everybody wear Jordans in professional settings. I just felt like, you know, I've seen a lot of people wear Jordans with suits and everything. I guess it didn't fit my narrative, and I was wrong to judge him. But I did not do it publicly. Then there was a sister in this professional setting, in this workshop, wearing flip-flops and shorts. He said she wasn't wearing that. That's the only thing I can remember. She was wearing flip-flops and gym shorts. Did I call her out in a public forum? No. Black people, African Americans, whatever you call yourself, if you got strong melanin and you have these features, African features, I want you to do two things. Have respect for one another and have dignity. I see our race on TV fighting, cussing, saying obscene words. Other than comedy, that's not really called for. We're just feeding into what America has laid down for us. You know, America gave us the plate. So this is what they did. They gave us the ingredients. They told us how to cook it. They told us how to prepare it. And then they put the plate down, but we're serving ourselves. I know we didn't get here by ourselves, so don't get me wrong. Okay, don't get me wrong. I don't want you to think I'm talking out both sides of my mouth. I'm not. I am saying I know that the psychological discord that white America has put inside of our Black minds, our Black brains. But some of us who are awake, some of us who are quote unquote woke, we need to wake the hell up and not judge our brother and sister because he's wearing his pants down his butt. Oh yeah, look at them brothers, look at them Negroes over there with their pants down their butt. Have you ever went to go talk to one of them Negroes? Have you say, hey brother, man, you know, X, Y, and Z. Have you been an inspiration? Have you been a mentor? But no, I get people in my circle, not my close circle, my far-fetched circle, speaking about those because they have tattoos. I just spoke to my cousin. My cousin was talking about tattoos all down his arm. He already had them on his neck. And he was talking about getting them on his hand. I say, hey, cuz, if you ever want a job, you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to work for this, you want to work for that, don't get tattoos on your hand, man. Don't get tattoos on your hand. Now, a lot of his tattoos were meaningful, but I want him to be marketable, even if he owns his own business, because some people are not going to take him seriously with all these tattoos on him. So I spoke up to him. You get what I'm saying? I spoke up to him. I said, brother, come on, man. I didn't speak down to him. Oh, look at you, man. You just being one of these Negroes out on the street. You being one of these little ninjas out here on the street. Nah. When you're going to pick us up and don't let us up. Now, there's some people you just can't talk to. I understand. Then don't talk to them. Then don't talk to them. Some people you talk to them, it may be dangerous. Then don't talk to them, but don't put them down. Don't go talk to another Black person or another white person or another Asian person and put those brothers in the ghetto down. Put those brothers in the hood down. Put those brothers that look less desirable, those deplorables down. Don't do that. Just don't say nothing about them. Keep it pushing. Keep it moving. Either uplift or don't say anything. This is what they want you to do. And now if you're an Oreo or cornball or Sambo or sellout, then I already know your agenda. I already know your plan. You want to sit back with your white brothers and sisters, your Asian brothers and sisters, and talk about the rest of the monkeys. Words of power. I don't cut my tongue. I don't cut my tongue because I see it, I feel it, and I know it. And this is what needs to be said. This is what needs to be said. You make progress by implementing your ideas, so said Shirley Chisholm. What are you doing with your power? What are you doing with your ideas? Are you lifting people up or are you putting people down? Are you taking care of your family or are you complaining to your family? Dread Mike says the problem, it hasn't stopped. I learned how to trade to bring value to myself and secure my own bag. Wagner says facts. Girls did the same thing when I was in high school in the mid 2000s. Girls go for the Trey Songz, the Drakes, the Chris Brown type of guys. Dread Mike says, I'm light skinned. My dad is dark skinned. So is my granddad. I came from dark skin. You must have bleached yourself. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. For the record, I love darker skinned women. Why I appreciate, oh, Dolly Smith said, why I appreciate your channel. Well, Dolly, of course, I appreciate you, my sister. I'm just tired of Black people putting each other down. And the more we put ourselves down, the more we act a fool, the more we act stupid outside of comedy makes me weary. See, I was looking at Louis Farrakhan, I was looking at Malcolm X, and I was looking at Khalid Mohammed, and these Muslim brothers. And I'm not Muslim, just to let you know. I'm not religious affiliated with any of that. But I love what they say, because we can get religious real quick. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and dab on. I told you I don't cut my tongue, and gosh darn it, I don't want to be a liar. I was talking about how Christian leaders are passive in front of most Christian leaders, not all. Most Christian leaders are passive when they're doing interviews and when they're talking to politicians. Muslim brothers, mostly from the Nation of Islam, the only thing they do is speak powerfully, and they never get angry. It looks like it's kind of like they speak intelligently angry without showing the emotion, and that's why I love. Like when you hear Louis Farrakhan speak, he speaks very eloquently, very intelligently, very powerful. And then when somebody asks him condescending or intruding or being disrespectful in the way they speak, he always shows respect. All of these leaders do. I'm not saying go out and be a Muslim. I'm just saying just go and look at some of the interviews and speeches of Malcolm X and Louis Farrakhan and Khalid Mohammed. It's going to change your perspective. It's going to change your life. And you know what else I love? I love Dr. Claude Anderson. I read some of his books. I look at him when he goes on Dr. Boyce Walken's channel, and I love what the brother has to say. He believes what I believe, that I told my brother Jay. I said, everything, and some of you are going to disagree, and I don't care. Everything is about money. It's about money, 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 money. Slavery was about what? Oh, slavery is about power over African Americans from Africa. No. Slavery was about money. Slavery was about money. The slave trade, anytime somebody say trade, we're talking about exchanging of money. It was about money. Not giving you a second stimulus check was about money. Giving you the first stimulus check was about money. Okay, the economy slowed down. Let's give the American people a stimulus check. And what the stimulus is going to what? Recharge, infuse the economy. Why don't you think Republicans are going to give you a second stimulus check? Because they want you to get back to work so American can stay powerful and rich. You don't get powerful before you get rich. You got to become rich, then you become powerful. Okay? See, who was that group back in the day? Was it the Fugees? I forgot who it was, but it was money, power, respect. That's the right order. That is the right order. You get the money, then you get the power, then you get the respect. Because quite frankly, who's going to mess with America's military? Nobody except terrorists. No other conventional army can touch the American military because we have the money, we are advancing innovation and technologies and inventions. That means we have the power because we have more ammunition, we have more tanks, we have more jets, we have more aircraft carriers than any other countries. So we're powerful. Oh, well, we owe China $15 trillion. Well, tell China, come and get it. Come on, China. Come on, get your money. See what happened to them. What am I getting at? It's all about money. It's all about money. Why would I want the people who built this country, their descendants, who are you and I, to become wealthy, to become rich, to become self-sustained? Why would I want that? I want you to become dependent upon the American government. I want you to become dependent upon your corporate job. I want you to become dependent on someone else giving you something so you can live and survive. Why would I want you to be a freelancer? Why would I want you to be self-employed? Why would I want you to be an entrepreneur? Yeah. You know what? For statistics, for mass media, for the world to see, we're going to allow a couple of Black people to do well. It's about 40 million of you guys. So out of 40 million, if we let let's say 100,000 of you become millionaires, maybe another 100,000 of you become 100,000aires, then the world gonna think we're doing okay. See, I like what some of these ministers have said. They said other countries went to the World Court, they went to the UN, and they brought up charges against their government. They brought charges against their oppressors of human rights violation. See, when we allow ourselves to be subjugated under American law, under civil rights, we have already lost the fight because we do not have the support of the world government. Because at this point, only the world government can step in and change what is going through. What is going through. They're the only ones. Because think about it like this. If you are a citizen, okay, if you are a citizen of America, why do you need civil rights? Why do you need civil rights if you're a citizen of America? That's because we're not citizens. We're residents. See, I said this before. We wasn't freed from slavery. We were let go from bondage. We were released from bondage. We wasn't set free. And we never got our citizenship, even though you're an American citizen. And there's rights under the Constitution. But we understand that the Constitution had to go back and do some amendments. That's called Black Reconstruction, 13, 14, 15. Look those up. Why do you have to go back and write something and apply race to it if you're a citizen, if you're not a resident? I want you to think about that. Because the atrocities that Black people have endured, other countries, other people have went to the World Court and filed for human rights violations. And guess what? They got their just due. Look at the Japanese. They filed against, was it Truman, about human rights violations. They got their reparations and they got the hell out of here. Then they said, well, you know what? All you Blacks are crying about all the prejudice, all the racism, then take your tail back to Africa. Oh, well, excuse me. I gave this analogy earlier. Picture America as a house. We built this house. We didn't get paid for it, and now you want us to leave? Oh, no, Monsieur Reed. No, 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 no. We have right to claim this stake more so than you. And I'm not talking about all white people. I'm talking about those who feel are entitled in the rhetoric that they say to themselves, and those white supremacists out there that think we should just go back to Africa. Well, you know what? This is what I want you to do. I want you to take all the Europeans who believe this, okay? And Europeans mean the white people in America, because we understand that the white people in America are immigrants from Europe. So I'm just going to say all Europeans, and I can say white Americans, or they're all still Europeans to me. Go to Africa, build the infrastructure that Black people built here, go through the industrial stage, and then leave. Don't get paid. Africa provide the materials. Africa provide the tools, and then go back to America, go back to Europe. Would you go? They're not going to do that. We were in bondage, and we did work for free. So when somebody tells you to go back to Africa, you think I'm gonna move back to Africa. Here's my thing. I may move away from America, ladies and gentlemen, but it's not because I don't believe I have stake here. Oh no. Oh no. We have stake here. Now we understand that the theft of America is one of the biggest crimes that nobody ever talks about. Think about it like this. Native Americans were here, and believe it or not, Africans were here in America before Europeans, because we understand that the Moors went out and traveled the world. Okay, and some believe that Africans were in America before Native Americans, but I'm not going to get on that subject. I'll just give what most people know, that Native Americans were here. The Europeans came, killed them all, put them in concentration camps, AKA reservations, and have black people to work the land because they could not tame, they could not chain the Native Americans because they knew the land and they would die before. Now they knew the land, they knew where they were going, they knew where everything was. Why did African Americans stay? Why did we not kill ourselves off? Now, what some people wouldn't tell you that there was a lot of mothers, there was a lot of fathers who jumped off the boat before they got here, who jumped off the ship before they got here, who actually killed their young, so they wanted to endure slavery. They would rather die. They would rather be killed. They would rather not suffer what we have suffered. Generationally, I know I haven't suffered what they suffered. I don't want to take that from them. I'm gonna read some of your notes. Dolly Smith, where there is no enemy within. I discovered this channel recently and love it. Very empowering. Well, thank you, Abina. Dread Mike says, I got a full beard and dread. I talk about finance, teach it, and show them my paperwork of being in the market. Who are you showing, Dread? Dread, you know, me and Dread Mike, we've talked a lot of times on and offline. And Mike, I'm gonna tell you like this, brother. Teach those brothers and sisters who don't know about finances, about self-empowering, about motivation and inspiration, who may be stricken and struck in with laziness because of corporate America, because of America in general, because police brutality. Give those people inspiration. You don't need to show nobody what you know. You only like, well, you know, I'm this intelligent and I got this amount of money. And we don't have to compare ourselves to nobody. Be your own man. I'm not saying you're not. Don't take offense to it. But let's lift up those who were left behind. Let's lift up those who were actually left behind by our own kind. Let's lift those people up. Every time I get around Black people, somehow I'm magnetically drawn into certain conversations. And it's always powerful. It's always uplifting. It's always inspirational because that's what I exude. That's what I exhaust. Because that's what I want. You're not going to get along with everybody, but we can get along with a lot of people. Wagner says, that was the Locks with Lord Kim that did that song, Money, Power, Respect. Thank you. Dre Mike said exactly, the Locks, okay. Definitely. Dre Mike says, Scarface said, you get money, then you get the power, then you get the women. That's true. You can't leave this country without a passport. Exactly. The Germans, the Japanese, and Native Americans got their money. Indeed, I talked about that before. King said, Khalid Muhammad is one of my favorites. Indeed, my brother. No way, and we really need to have ownership. Here's the thing, guys. I'm about to buy a house. About to close on a house here because I have to. I was renting way too long. This would be my third house. And I went through some relationship issues that I did it to myself. I got to blame myself because people show you the red flags and people say love is blind. Love ain't blind. You just got to open your eyes. You just got your eyes closed. Blind is something that you just can't help. You know, you walking, you going down an old country road, somebody got their high beams on and they blind you. You got your eyes open, but you still can't see. No, I just had my eyes closed. I was not blind. You have to have ownership. You got to take a stand. You got to take out a stake in this land. Whether it be an old country house where you got 3, 4, 5 acres, or you got a smaller house, 1,500, 1,600 square foot. You living close beside somebody, but you got a stake in it. Now, I'm gonna play angel's advocate here, devil's advocate, whatever you want to call it. You know what? Forget the angels, forget the devils. I'm gonna play black man's advocate. Let's talk about property. And I'm gonna say this really quickly. You may own your house one day. You may own your house one day, but you will never own the land that it sits on. You will never own the land for which it sits on. Let me tell you why. Property tax. Do me a favor, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to prove my theory wrong, if you want to prove my statement, my phrase, what I'm saying is wrong, don't pay your property tax. Pay off your house. Don't pay your property tax. And contact me a year after you don't pay your property tax and tell me what happened. I can tell you what happened. They take your house. They take your land. That's what a lot of people don't understand. Oh, yeah, I got my own house. Yeah, you got your own house, but you don't have your own land. So you may have 3-4 acres, but you'll never really own it because at the end of the day, you still got to pay property tax. Susan Muthani said, you are so intelligent. Thank you. I don't think so. I appreciate that, though, sister. I appreciate that. Dre Mike says, that's exactly what I do, Brother Ross. I get some of my family, some of my friends, and people who hear me talk are now in the market. Well, thank you. Now, if any of you in the chat that are not in the stock market, I'm not going to say that's the best thing since sliced bread because you can lose a lot of money in the stock market. I know I have, and a lot of my friends have. But I have a friend, white guy, good guy, believe it or not. I vetted him. I actually met him in person by the name of Stephen Gardner, who actually deals in insurance. And for the history of Penn Mutual and other companies that he have actually worked with, they have never lost any of their clients' money. Now, the percentage, the appreciation of your account may only raise to 6% tops, but you'll never lose money. See, I lost a great deal of money in the stock market during COVID-19, but I knew the risk. I tell people, do not invest any money that you can't blink an eye and lose. Some people go in the market and they throw all their money in the market and they lose it and they become absolutely poor. Don't do that. Only put money in that you can actually lose. Now, your purpose is to multiply your money, 10%, 15%, 20%, etc. But you also have to know that the risk, the volatility of the market can have you losing just as much. You can lose 20%, 15%, 10%. I've lost $30,000 in the market since COVID-19. They saying that the market's coming back because more people are flying. They saying that the market's coming back because import and export has increased, but my stock portfolio has not come back. And it may take anywhere from 2 years to 5 years to get back to where I once was. I was talking to a buddy of mine, and I said this earlier that I'm going golfing with this Friday, and he reached out to Vanguard, and basically he wanted to know when or prediction or estimation or guesstimation of when he'd get his money back. And they gave him some scripted answer that was already pre-written inside the computer that they didn't know. They're talking about, I'm gonna look at this model, I'm gonna look at this model, I'm gonna look at that model. I can tell you, the only models I look at is on TV wearing bikinis because I don't need to look at all of that to tell you how money works. How money works is actually easy. Now, there are some very intricate parts about money. You talk about your gammas, your thetas, your betas, right? That information at the low that most people don't look at in Robinhood. I understand some of that, but at the end of the day, you don't really need to understand it to make money. You have to understand the economy, and you don't need to be an economist to understand the economy. Let me help you out. I'm gonna break it down really quickly. The economy. Everybody works in it, or everybody works under it or over it, the black market. But the economy. During COVID-19, thousands, millions of Americans lost their job because everybody had to shelter in place, had to wear gloves and masks, had to work from home. But the volume of products and services greatly decreased. So the market, the economy slowed down. Everything affects the stock market. When people slow down their import, export, the manufacturing of products, the market was affected because market shares, market production, market prediction, market appreciation, market depreciation was no longer valuable for people to predict or give analytics or metrics to what was going to happen, because this is unprecedented. This is something that no one planned except those who probably was involved, which very few. So the market went into a recession. So what are some keys of certain stocks, certain corporations, certain organization appreciating value again? Well, let me help you out. If Delta, American, Frontier, Alaska, JetBlue, Southwest are opening more flights up, if you have taken a flight recently or know somebody taking a flight and you ask them, hey man, how was it on the plane? Oh man, the plane was packed. They only skipped the middle seat. When I flew, there was 8 people on the plane. Think about that. But now the plane is just missing every other seat. Guess what that means? Delta Airlines stock is going to appreciate in value. American Airlines stock is going to appreciate in value. JetBlue, Southwest, so on and so forth. And guess what? Who backed all of them? Boeing, who makes the planes mostly. So their stock is going to go up. Delta Airlines stock is going to go up. American Airlines stock is going on, so on and so forth. This is easy. This is easy stuff. This is just using common sense, ladies and gentlemen. Guess what? That means FedEx is going to be shipping more products because more people are getting back to work. More people are traveling. So that means they're going to need more resources. They're going to need more things in the stores. So that means that there's a trickle effect. And then the Republicans are talking about, we don't want to give the American people another stimulus check. We want to get their butts back to work. So if you go back to work, to a restaurant, to a business, that means that that business is going to have more calls for more services, for more products. That means restaurants are going to be serving, doing social distancing inside their restaurants. That means they're going to have people inside the restaurants. Then they're going to need all those vegetables that the farmers were actually burning because nobody was buying it. That means that we're going on an uptrend when it comes to appreciation in money inside the economy. This is very easy. You knew this. I'm just talking about it. I'm not giving you no economic speech. I'm giving you down to earth stuff that you've seen, stuff that you've heard, and I'm just putting it into context for you. That's all I'm doing. But you knew this already. So if you want to know where to put your money at, then you already have the answers. Words of power. Words of power. Stop waiting for people to do stuff for you and go out and do it yourself. Don't allow people to have a plan for you. You make your plan. You strategize. You be the owner. You be the composer. You be the creator of your own destiny. You be the creator of your own destiny. See, don't let somebody tell you where you're going to end up. You tell them where you're going to end up, and then you do it. Then, depending on where you work, where you reside, the groups you hang in, don't tell everybody your business. It's not for everybody. See, there's people out there that's out there to do you harm for no apparent reason, or just because you look like me or look like you. So don't tell everybody your plans. Don't tell everybody, you know, you had this $1 million idea and how you going to go about it. Nah. So, man, what you doing to make more money? You know, man, I'm just, just trying to get my budget together. Wait a minute, I just saw you on TV last week. Oh, yeah, man, just trying to do some side hustles, man, make some masks. I painted some pictures, made a table out of wood, cedar, sealed it, just random stuff. You don't got to tell people your plan. See, whoever is for you or against you, they're going to ask you the same question, but you have to decipher who they are to you. Wolves come in sheep's clothing, don't they? They come to destroy, devour, decimate, start ruckus and chaos inside your life, and you have no reason why. I equate that to trolls on YouTube. Every now and again, I'll get a troll, and my community points out the troll. They say, "Ross World, man, he just being a troll." Because sometimes I'll give trolls some of my time, meaning that a troll will come very eloquently and they'll keep a conversation going just for whatever reason. And then I say, "Hey, man, that's a troll." And I say, "Yeah, I know, but sometimes I like to educate. Sometimes I like to motivate. Sometimes I like to just give information." I say, "Man, you're wasting your time." And I say, "You know what? You're right. I'm going to stop dealing with them." That's just what it is. All right, let's read some of your notes. I know I've been on here for a while. You know I'm about to end it, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. It says, Wadner says, true property tax in my hood is, what's that? Wow, $8,144 per year. They take your house if you miss 12 payments. That's a year, right? Woo-hoo! I told you. I ain't lying to you. Thank you for backing me up, Wadner. I appreciate that. Sometimes people just think I'm talking off the cusp. I do, but I still know what I'm talking about. Susan, you heard that? You're in luck. Mike says, exactly. Don't pay your property tax. The county and state will have a tax lien on your property. Indeed. You make a killing buying tax liens property and try to buy some down south and in Detroit. Susan Muthani says, Susan Muthani must be Kenyan, right? You must be Kikuyu, and you speak the Kikuyu language and Swahili, don't you? Asante. Anyway, they said smart people are weird. I'm just weird, trying to be smart. Anyway, it was wise to open lock account for 10 years. I use if I get for a pension. That's true. See, ask someone that was on the front lines in the Korean War, my brother. Indeed. Mike says, Wadner, here in Florida, the interest rate on taxing is 18%. Wow. Mike says, exactly, bond is on sale right now. Neil Dow said, putting my money in index funds. Index funds are really good, but index funds and ETFs, with our exchange traded funds, they were still affected by COVID-19. What I did on Wealthfront, my entire portfolio on Wealthfront, I decreased the volatility of it all the way down to 1, the intensity down to 1. And what that does is that allocates most of my money into government bonds, because government bonds still during COVID-19 was giving me a rate to 3 to 4%, which is great when everybody is losing. 3 to 4% is phenomenal, okay? Because government bonds are what? Loans to the American government. How do you think China has become the world's second superpower? Because they went in and the government bought trillions of dollars of US government bonds. That's why when we say we are in debt to China, it's because they bought debt that America owed and they bought it, which helps China to increase their GDP. That also helps China to increase their, I forgot the name of their money. It's not yen, that's Japanese. I forgot. Somebody put it in the chat. Somebody put it in the chat, but I forgot. Neil Dow says buying assets, not liabilities. That's good. Wadner says, okay, Mike and Wadner is talking. Andrea One says, exactly, don't reveal your blueprint for how you're going to get there. Indeed. Dolly Smith says, that's been me, just getting my budget together. Then bam, 6K of that gone. Bada boom, bada bang. There you go. There you go. You know how you always have the black guys in the corner at the basketball game? Oh yeah, that's my man's right there. That's my man's right there. Dolly, that was out to you. That's my man's right there. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm from DC. That's a little bit of, what up, Slim? Something like that. Anyway, I got a little bit in me. Got a little bit in me. And A1 Star said, thanks for this. Can you dedicate a video to money and relationship? Ooh, I sure can. I can do that one tomorrow. Same time, same place. No, I'm kidding. But no, I can do one tomorrow. I can't really give you a time. I need to probably put out a schedule. I probably need to be more organized with this so everybody knows when I do a video. This is what I'll do. I will do a video about money and relationships tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central Time, at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, and 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Yeah, whatever. Okay, if it's 3 p.m. in the East Coast, I'll be doing it at noon. That's all I can tell you. If it's 1 p.m. in Texas, then I'll do that too. Like, so just to give you some reference points, I would do money and relationship at 1 p.m. Texas, 3 p.m. DC, and 12 Pacific West time, Pacific Standard Time. I'll do that video. I'll even write it down. All right, Dollar Smiths, thanks. You're welcome, my sister. And let's see here. Wadner says, thanks. I will look into it when I visit Georgia next time. I don't know interest rates in Georgia is that high. Thank you, A1 Star, for your, I think is that euros or pounds? Thank you for that donation. And believe me, the donation will be donated into this channel, into all of my equipment that I use to give you the information that I speak. All right, ladies and gentlemen, again, if you have any information, any questions, if you want to request anything, I have my email in the description of this video. I let people know that I really don't charge to mentor people, but a lot of people are telling me I should maybe start off a Patreon account. I want to know what you guys think about that, because I will allow people 5 to 10 minutes of my time on the phone coaching them. But if you want more time, I think that my time is valuable, just like your time is valuable. And I was thinking about starting a Patreon account of maybe $5 a month. That way we can set up an appointment and you can take all the time you want. We can have discussions about life, happiness, nutrition, money, market, you name it, business, real estate. And if I don't know the real estate questions, I got people in the real estate area that can help me out. So if you think that is profitable to you, I want my community to let me know, do you think that it would be profitable if I start a Patreon account and you pay a small monthly fee and you can have direct access to me and set up appointments so we can have a discussion? Let me know in the comments or through my email if you like that. Again, if you want to get involved in the stock market, in the description below, I have Robinhood, and I also have stash links that you can actually go through. You get a stock, I get a stock. You get $5, I get $5. The stock is with Robinhood, and the $5 is with stash. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much my time for today. I'll see most of your happy faces, or AKA your avatars, on YouTube tomorrow when I talk about relationship and money. Again, 3 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central, and I want to say, man, you know what, 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 o'clock Pacific, 2 p.m. I'm messing this all up, ain't I? I got it. I'm sorry. 3 p.m. Eastern. If you're in the Texas time zone, that's 2 p.m. And Pacific Standard Time. 3 p.m. Eastern. I'm just keep it like that. I guess you guys will figure it out. Dread Mike says in China 2008, paid $1.8 trillion of US debt during the stock and market crash. Okay. And King said, wouldn't that 30,000 been better in real estate? It would have. It would have. I agree. I have no rebuttal, or I can't refute it. But anyway, that's my time, ladies and gentlemen. Learn money and be inspired. And I see you happy faces tomorrow. Enjoy your evening and be safe. I'm out.